Evening PTube, hope everyone's good. Now, there was a fair few premieres that I wanted to put out really before putting the boot in, I guess, or whatever. Now, I've not really had enough time to like put out the relevant ones or whatever. Now, up to tonight or whatever, I've been proper just busy, not been able to do what I wanted to do kind of thing. Now, hopefully later on tonight when the kids are in bed, etc., I'm going to try and pull out the relevant bits from certain lives that I was going to premiere, because it's one of them, not everyone's got time to sit around watching premieres and all this shit long, do you know what I mean? Because the way I've done it up to now is, rather than cut bits out and do this and do that, I'll just let it run as a full premiere, just for transparency really, rather than cherry picking the bits that you want put out and whatever. For transparency reasons, it just seemed more fair to put out the full lives, etc. Now, like I say, people have not really got the time to be watching all that shit on the run up to Christmas, or even after the Christmas period, I guess. Either way, the Christmas period, you know what I mean? Now, I am going to try and cherry pick certain bits so it's not long and drawn out and whatever. Now, the thought process is pulling out the relevant bits so you can see the build up to where we are now, where that fat gobshite Jupiter is running about, can't keep my name out of her mouth, rent-free space in her head, trying to make out I'm all the cunts under the sun. Now, I think the only way I can do that, time-wise or whatever, is pull out relevant bits, put them all kind of together on one premiere, and serve it up. Now, I honestly could not give two fucks how anybody feels about it, in all honesty. For me, like I've said several times or whatever, I think I've already done my job, to be fair. Going back fucking many years or whatever, the sole purpose of it was to wake people up. Now, waking people up to not just the Islamic problem, because I think that's a secondary problem, to the main problem, which is our government. Now, I think, to be honest, most people that don't live under a rock are aware of both problems. They're aware that we are under a treasonous government, and they are aware of the fucking ever-expanding rape epidemic which comes from the Islamic fucking situation, which is just getting worse and worse. Do you know what I mean? Considering how long ago the grooming problem was pointed out and addressed. Do you know what I mean? It's not like they don't know. They know, they just don't care enough to do out about it. Some people may know, some people may not. Tony Bugle took 200 women. I think that's where the pink lady idea come from. Took 200 women with, I think it was pink t-shirts or whatever, all in unity, took them to I think it was the Houses of Parliament, they put something in and whatever, and they was allowed to, present their issue, etc. It was heard, and nothing come of it. Do you know what I mean? There's no shortage of these cunts just ignoring it. You're not important. Blah fucking blah. So at that point, do you know what I mean? People really need to think outside the box. We should be now holding these cunts to account, and we can only do that when we have unified numbers. And the best unified numbers realistically would be people from all races, people from all cultures, etc. And if we could manage to do that, then I think we would actually get a much more productive response. The fact that we don't seem to be able to do that is just power to the government, because they can see us trying, they can see us failing, and at that point they're emboldened to carry on doing the same treasonous bullshit and turning a blind eye to the mass rape epidemic. Now, for the last couple of years or whatever, people have seen me trying to work on unity, trying to be more middle of the road type thing, to get a decent group of people together which can agree on the problems and look to solutions. Now, in these particular damp, dark, dingy little communities or whatever, it just seems a waste of time, if I'm honest. You've got people that will recognise the problem but don't seem to want to stand with other people which are slightly different in their views and approach to things or whatever. It just seems to be a near impossible task. So at that point, in these particular damp, dark, dingy communities, I've kind of washed my hands of it and think, well, fuck them. You know what I mean? You've got these converts running around doing the most shit, chatting the most shit. For me, they're as bad as the government, treasonous bunch of cunts or whatever. And there's no point me pretending to be nice about the situation realistically, when you can see there's no fruit to bear off these trees. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them. Why carry on with the bullshit or whatever? Now, I don't think, to be honest, that I'll be around these communities much going into the new year. Yeah, I've got some premiers to push out, this, that and the other. But like I say, I couldn't care less the response. I could not care less one way or the other. It's just more of a case of proving a point and kicking certain people in the fucking... certain people in the cunt on the way out or whatever, because they've been a cunt. Now, if people hadn't been a cunt, do you know what I mean? I would have just left them to it. Certain things have been sorted through. It's one of them, innit? You've got to realise the hate campaigns, which I've been given the green light a long time ago to take down. Now, the people inside and outside of that hate campaign seem to have got their roles mixed up somewhat, to the point where you've now got infiltrating scumbags like fucking Herpeter in the mix of all sorts of shit, and the people that give her the green light to join them communities, I think the shit from that is coming to fruition, much like I said it would. Do you know what I mean? That will only get more and more so as time goes by. I don't really need to be part of any of this bullshit. I think I've made my points along the way. I've clarified my points along the way. And everything I've said pretty much has come to fruition. So yeah, I think I've proved all I need to prove. Now, I'm not saying YouTube is not still a good tool to have open, honest discussion. I'm not saying that these discussions have not done something along the way. There are many black people speaking out. There are many Muslims speaking out as it goes. The people from all different walks of life, all different races, cultures, etc., that do actually agree on the things that are important realistically. And do you know what I mean? That goes well beyond these tiny little communities. Now, when you look at any of these communities realistically, the most that you're really reaching, and it is the same empty ball bags usually or whatever, is like 100 people or something. If you looked at them all and consolidated them together or whatever, you might have possibly between 200 and 300 people which, you know, bounce around from one channel to another channel to another channel. That's not going to achieve anything. It's not going to do anything. And when most people in that are mainly trolls, mainly for the drama and the bullshit and whatever, those people are no good for nothing. They're not going to help any situation anytime soon. For the people that are decent in those situations and whatever, you've kind of put yourself in a predicament by sticking around the same shit and being dragged into things one way or the other, used, manipulated, etc. When people wake up to what's gone on and whatever, then yeah, it's good or whatever, but do you know what I mean? They need to figure themselves how they're going to navigate the situation to better communities and whatever. Now, at some point in the new year, we're hoping to have the radio back on, back to how we was using it in the past. The, I don't know what you call it, the technology side of it, let's say, is abroad, so that can't be bothered, that can't be messed with. People can hear it all over the world and whatever, and nobody can get cancelled. So it is a tool that we can definitely use, and obviously we can be select who, well, anyone can listen to it, but do you know what I mean? The people that are be given opportunity to put their stuff out, have the conversations with relevant people, this, that and the other, that's going to be very select, obviously, for very good reasons. There's too many shit cunts, and they've kind of got used to be able to just cancelling people and boycotting this, that and the other, and it doesn't really get us anywhere. So for me, that the radio side of things, I think it can only be a good thing, wouldn't ever be a bad thing, and that's realistically all you can kind of do. Now, like I say, there's enough people awake now. When you've got millions turning up to a demonstration, and you've got so many more people from so many more races and cultures and whatever, all awake and are actually on the same page, what's the point in keep going over the same shit with the same shit people? Do you know what I mean? They can see the problems, they just do not care. They will say, oh yeah, you know, this, that and the other. They say the right words, but words are just words, do you know what I mean? It's a lot easier to judge a person by their actions rather than the words. Words are cheap. Anyone can say the right shit. It doesn't mean anything if it's not followed up by actions. You alright, mate?
You won't trust me 50 pence, sir.
What's that, mate?
You won't trust me 50 pence.
He won't give you what?
You won't trust me if I'm short of 50 pence.
1 second. Thank you.
Cheers, bro.
Give you the change.
Thank you, sir. God bless you.
So mate, you alright now, yeah? You okay now?
Another 50 pence, please.
I'll give you about 250 there. You alright with that?
I want to show another 50 pence, please.
Give us that 50p back then.
Yeah, give me the pound.
There's a quid
Cheers,
as well.
our kid.
You're welcome, mate. Take care. Getting fleeced. I don't mind helping. Yeah, it's mad. The amount of people, oh, you're a racist, blah blah blah. That was an Asian guy or whatever, do you know what I mean? Bit hard on his luck and whatever. He started off with 50p, then he was another 50p short. Then he was a bit more short. Ended up giving him about fucking £3. Is what it is, do you know what I mean? It's only a couple of quid, but if it helps someone out, I don't mind. But, do you know what I mean? You'll have people, oh, he's racist, blah, fucking blah. It's madness. Now, the shit that people come out with is just beyond fucking mental, do you know what I mean? Try and make you out to be far right, racist, fucking blah, blah, blah. I've told people, do you know what I mean? I've got a multicultural family, I've got very multicultural fucking circles and fucking all sorts of shit. Whether that be on a personal level, whether that be on a business level. So, for me to be half the fucking shit which these cunts try to make out that I am is ridiculous. I've made it clear from fucking day one. My problem lies with the ideology which Muslims just happen to be fucking part of or whatever. Now, what the fuck are you doing? You fucking drunk? What the fuck? Speed the fuck up, knobhead. Now, like I've said, do you know what I mean? It's fucking... For me, the problem has always been the ideology, Islam. Now, Islam is just an ideology, a idea, a fucking bad idea. Now, it's mad how nobody seems to have a problem when I was confronting the Nazis, confronting all the PA lot and all that shit. Nobody seems to fucking... No one's called me a racist then. That was mad, wasn't it? But because it's Islam and the majority of Muslims are brown, all of a sudden you're a racist. Now, if you look at the two ideologies, realistically, they're pretty much fucking identical. Do you know what I mean? A hell of a lot of fucking similarities or whatever. And I've got a problem with both. So, for me, I will always stick to my fucking guns or whatever. You know what I mean? I've not changed stance for all this time, and I'm not gonna. Do you know what I mean? You can have converts running about, fucking playing professional victims. Becca, fucking hell, I don't know. She could be fucking Palestinian if she carries on trying or whatever. Professional victim. And it's one of them. I expect certain things from Ghost. Do you know what I mean? He's literally spelt it out for me. He puts Islam before his own family, before his own parents, children, grandparents, etc. And without it, he would be nothing. Now, to me, that's a proper sad state of affairs or whatever, that somebody can get to that position where in 2025 that's how they would feel, that they're quite happy to put a bad idea which has caused nothing but terrorism and taking over of many countries or whatever by force. Yeah, I can't get my head around it that somebody in 2025 that was born here or brought here as a young child and has grown up here, gone through the school system and whatever, would actually feel that way, to the point where it's like, in his head, it's normal to put a fucking barbaric death cult before your own family. I can't get my head around that. I honestly can't. And I do think it's proper sad. Do you know what I mean? I genuinely do feel sorry for people in that position. They've been brainwashed from birth to the point where that shit is now normalised or whatever. I can't get my head around that. Sorry, but I just can't. I do genuinely feel sorry for people in that position, but I also feel more sorry for the people affected by that fucking ideology, that cult. I'll keep calling it a cult because that is realistically all it identifies itself to be. There's no other word you could come up with to describe what Islam is other than a cult. So, yeah, my head's a bit fried when it comes to that situation. The fact that you would have English white converts like Becca deciding to join that cult in the height of the terrorism, in the middle of a 40-year fucking cover-up grooming gang situation and whatever, I can't even fathom as to what goes on in the mind of an English woman. It's one of them. I thought she was younger than she was originally. I sort of give her a bit of leeway, thinking, oh, you know, she's only young or whatever. I thought she was like 26, something like that or whatever. When I found out she's like pushing 40 or whatever, I thought, this is a bit different. This is a fully grown ass woman who should know better. You know what I mean? Now, when they've got kids of their own, this is the mad thing. I'll say, oh, because she's got kids of her own. She'll go, oh, he's mentioning my kids. Fucking madness. Forever victim, professional victim at that. When somebody's a grown-ass woman and they've got kids of their own or whatever, you would expect them to make better decisions and decisions which would be best for their children in the future when they're dead and gone. Do you know what I mean? That's what I do. That's what I do. Anything I do now, and I have been doing for the last fucking 15 years or so, you know what I mean? I'm not doing it for me. I'm not trying to build myself a big ego. I'm not trying to build myself a channel. I'm not trying to build a movement. I'm not trying to do any of these things. I'm trying to wake people up to the fucking obvious dangers which are going to affect our children, everybody's children, whether they're mine, Becca's, Taffy's, fucking Herpeters, all these other, you know what I mean? Anybody around the situation, it's going to affect our children and their future generations. Realistically, you know what I mean? You could live out the rest of your life and just think, well, you know, just keep moving away from it a bit and moving away from it a bit. Just ignore it and, you know, it's not our problem. I can't do that shit. I just can't. I can't in my head go, right, okay, I'm just going to leave all these problems which people want to avoid and want to call you silly names that you're not, and this, that and the other. I'm just going to leave all that shit to my children and the future generations. I can't do that. I'm sorry, but I can't. There's no point in me pretending anything other than it actually is or whatever. And the situation is getting worse and worse. Despite light being shown on it, despite things being addressed, despite the multiple people which are high profile patriots bringing light to it, not just this country, all over the fucking world. Do you know what I mean? The problems are not getting any better, they're getting worse. And at that point, we're gonna have to have a bit of a rethink, aren't we? And if words don't work, then realistically what plan of action are you looking to, what are you looking at plan of action wise, realistically? Because when words don't work and you can see the problem getting worse, you can kind of see that people are now going to go, right, okay, like them hacker guys or whatever that Triller was crying about because they ripped a few flags or whatever. Do you know what I mean? That's the start of something in certain countries, New Zealand, Australia, etc. You've had them run out the fucking jihadis and whatever in those countries. Is that the way we need to go? Is that the way you would like it to go? See, it seems to be a mad thing with the Muslims that they can like deal with the problems that come from it or whatever. I think you're badly mistaken, if I'm honest. And I don't think it's going to go your way in any way, shape or form. If we go that direction, which honestly I think is inevitable. I don't think it's something you can avoid anymore. And I've tried, do you know what I mean? I've tried for years to just wake people up to the situation and let's have a lawful discussions, lawful solutions, resolve to the problems with lawful means. Now, when you've had the high profile patriots avoiding that, and they have been avoiding that for fucking at least 10 years that I know of, then it's not really looking good, is it, realistically? Is the worst case scenario inevitable? I think so. I honestly think so. And that's a shame because, do you know what I mean? Once these things start, I don't think there's going to be much of a stop to it until it's sort of all put to bed, if you like. I'm going to stop the video for a minute while I just get some food or whatever. I'll eat some food. Can't be arsed with it going cold, but yeah. Now I needed that food. Fucking hell. Yeah, so it's one of them. I've always helped people where I can. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's sorting them out with a few quid, whether it's getting someone some food, whatever. It's only this morning a fucking old couple. They was white, so they probably don't count, but you know what I mean? Fucking, they was getting whatever they was getting and whatever, and they looked like they was counting the pennies and all this shit and whatever. So when I got to the window, I said, do you know what I mean? Can I pay for their food behind? I think they only wanted like a fucking coffee each or a tea each or a fucking hot chocolate or some shit. It was just a drink. So I said to him, do you know what I mean? Like, give him a sausage sandwich and a donut each as well or whatever, and I'll pay for it. Just the gratitude from people, do you know what I mean? It's nice sometimes or whatever, and do you know what I mean? If I can help people out, even like helping them out with a physical situation, do you know what I mean? I will help people out where I can or whatever, And I've always been like that. I don't need to be, do you know what I mean? I feel like a bit of a cunt for even recording that guy or whatever. Obviously down on his luck a bit, do you know what I mean? Just dash this shit. Now, that's how, you know what I mean, that's how I am in real life or whatever, and online it's no different. I have tried helping people along the way, even scummy cunts like Jupiter, when I was sort of fed the bullshit of, oh, I'm always attacked because I'm a Tommy Robinson supporter, blah fucking blah. Now, when you've been around the situation and you spoke to multiple people around the situation, and actually it turns out this is just another professional victim. This is just another professional victim situation where that isn't the reason that they're getting fucking terrorised and whatever. That's not the reason that they're hated online. They're hated online because they're a scummy cunt that does proper scummy, vile fucking behaviour, whether it be words or whatever. Now, once you realise that someone's trying to take the piss and use you to sort of fight their battles for them or help them out in one way or another, then it gets to a point where you think, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Fuck right off. You don't think I'm some fucking useful idiot or whatever. Now, like I say, there's plenty of videos that I'm going to go over. I'll be honest, I'm going to cherry pick certain things because I can't be arsed trying to run full premieres that people are not going to have time to watch, to be fair. You know what I mean? It would seem pointless to bother rerunning them all or whatever. So I am going to cherry pick certain things just to paint the picture as things unfolded, etc. Now, if anyone says, oh, this, that and the other, it's fine, I'll just put the link out and you can watch the whole thing and you can point out what you think you're able to point out or whatever. You know what I mean? I am a sincere person. I don't need to fucking pretend something is other than it is. If people don't like me for X, Y or Z reasons, I just couldn't care. I just couldn't care, honestly. Do you know what I mean? Most of the people around this situation, you're honestly not my target audience anyway. I've always said I'm not asked about the 10% to the left, I'm not asked about the 10% for the right. I'm asked about the 80% in the middle that are just genuine people with genuine concerns and wish to have lawful resolve to deal with these problems which they can see for themselves. So, yeah. So I'm going to cherry pick certain things. I'm going to paint a picture for people to see as things unfolded at the time, as close to up to present day as possible. Now, that's all I can do really. And like I say, if people still want to think one thing or another, that's up to them. I honestly couldn't give two fucks. I seen Danny Double I the other day, like as if I'm victimising Jupiter. Oh, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's rah. Well, that's not really the case, is it? And maybe Danny's unaware of how we actually got to where we are now or whatever, and all the work that was put in before, during and after. But yeah, we are where we are. Now, me personally, like I say, I'm not actually going to be investing much time into any of these communities or channels in the new year. I think it's run its course. I don't think there's anything else of worth going to come from it. And at that point, why would I bother wasting my time? Now, don't get me wrong. If there's proper conversations of worth, then yeah, do you know what I mean? I'll tune in. Yeah, I will probably get involved if I think I've got something to add to the conversation, etc. It's not a problem. But I can't be arsed with this back and forth bullshit, musical chairs, friends today, fucking enemies tomorrow, back friends again. I cannot be arsed. I've seen it all unfold. And I've seen it just keep going round and round and round like some shit merry-go-round. Now, why would I bother wasting my time with any of that shit, realistically? There is going to be certain things that I'm going to have to cherry pick out of a situation and whatever. And I'm not specifically aiming at anybody, if I'm honest. I'm just literally painting the picture of how things unfolded, the musical chairs, the back and forth bullshit, and yeah, that is it realistically. Now, you've had Bysaw even the other night. Oh, apparently it's been upgraded now to Wendy was trying to set my house on fire, pouring petrol through a letterbox. Simon Lord's gonna fuck my house. Do you know what I mean? It's just like the mad shit that comes out of these wonky cunts is unreal or whatever. Now, myself and Wendy, do you know what I mean? I've cleared the air. We've gone over things. She understands she was kind of used by that bunch of wonky cunts or whatever. Yeah, I'll stick this video out. You know, that'll do you well. Now, if I wanted to be an absolute wanker, I could have took that. I could have took that pretty far, to be fair, considering what happened off the back of it. Now, I don't need to do that. I don't see Wendy as a bad person. I think she just got used and manipulated somewhat. So at that point, why would I target Wendy? Do you know what I mean? It would make no sense, realistically, would it? So, let me go that way, dude. So, yeah, why would I like put pressure on Wendy or whatever? Especially when I know like there's certain things going on in the background and whatever. Nah, I don't need to do that. It's one of them, innit? I've already got the fucking details of the raw fucking source of that or whatever, the prick that thought it was funny. For all that time to be putting shit out on people, trying to highlight people's fucking identities, family members, this, that and the other. He thought it was fucking hilarious when he thought he was untouchable. But obviously now I'm in full seat of all them details and I can go being a naughty cunt whenever I want to. Or I can take it another way and milk the cunt dry or whatever. There's plenty of ways of dealing with the situation at hand, and none of that includes having to be a cunt to somebody like Wendy, which I've seen as just being used for the situation. Do you know what I mean? They can't do it, so we'll get Wendy to do it. So yeah, for those reasons, I ain't, you know what I mean, I ain't gonna fall down that fucking trap or whatever and just take it out on people, which realistically it's nothing to do with. And myself and Wendy are fine. Do you know what I mean? We've had conversations since then. Everything's been fine. We are on the same page on many things. So yeah, it is what it is now. Jupiter is different kettle of fish, and I made that clear to Wendy or whatever. I've never put them two people in the same box. I don't see that as being the case, so why would I say it? Now, right, 1 minute. Now, when I've seen all these things unfold for myself, Do you know what I mean? You've got a better fucking it's easier to evaluate the situation for what it is rather than what it's been made to be or whatever. Now, Jupiter realistically has played so many people off each other. There isn't any really saving grace for Jupiter. Do you know what I mean? She has literally used everybody around her at one stage or another, and some people like have gone back for like extra helpings or whatever, extra servings of fucking the same shit, different day. Now, I don't get that. I really don't. Are these people clinically stupid? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Are these people desperate for the attention of a fucking old scummy bitch like Jupiter? Do they need to feel part of that little fucking dirty clique? I don't know. It don't make no sense to me. Now, you've heard Ghost say, oh, you was up Jupiter's arse not so long ago. That's not the case at all. Now, what is the case is Danny Roscoe believed, like other people, oh, Jupiter's not that bad, blah blah blah. I mean, you know, maybe he got off on the wrong foot, this, that and the other. So I said to him, alright, we'll play ball, we'll give her the benefit of the doubt, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what she's about or whatever. At the time, it made it easier because obviously I was given the green light on certain things, and I was gonna fucking annihilate and disassemble these hate campaigns. So it kind of made it easier. And obviously the trolls run back and forth in between Jupiter's fucking channel. So it kind of made it easier rather than just do it on my panel, my channel, whatever. It made it easier to do it there. And I would bait certain situations to the point where they kind of had to come forward and have some sort of a conversation or answer certain things and whatnot. And that was realistically what made it easy to disassemble all their bullshit, hate campaigns and nonsense and whatever. Now, if you listen to Jupiter as of late, oh, Ginger Tony thinks this, and anyone on the right thinks you're a troll, this, that and the other. Now, I've said this many times, there's nobody realistically that Jupiter knows other than the people which, funnily enough, give me the green light to go at all this shit when Jupiter was actually active participant of it and was going through it, all the clown world shit daily, the bucket of shit analysis that just went on and on and on or whatever. So for the people that she does know, that she claims will say this, that and the other, it's funny that Ginger Tony didn't jump on, isn't it? Oh, she's jumping on Sunday, she's going to tell everyone what a troll you are, this, that and the other. Never materialised, did it? And there's very good fucking reasons why that never materialised, because it wouldn't have ended well, realistically. These things are figments of Jupiter's imagination. She relies on just talking the amount of shit and just keep throwing shit and hopes that some will stick. Now, when that doesn't work, she falls flat on her face and looks like a cunt. This is why I was laughing. This is why I was laughing when she was like, failed to bring Ginger Tony to the table to tell me all about myself or whatever. I expected it. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Who's the other people she knows what? Fucking Danny fucking newcomer Roscoe. Who, I'm not being funny, but he's hardly fucking, do you know what I mean? He's hardly fucking made a good impression, realistically. The shit which he's okay with and co-signing and whatnot. To the point where he's allowed and giving the green light for Jupiter to join other communities. Now look at all the shit that unfolded from the audit community. Do you know what I mean? Who caused all that shit, realistically? Everyone's like or Team AY, or Team DJE, or whatever. I've said from day one, all the orders, no matter whether you like them or you hate them or whatever, all bring something to the table, and all bring, you know, awakening to communities which you just cannot reach. Do you know what I mean? Not everyone that's on these channels that are watching the shit that goes on and whatever are patriots. They wouldn't consider themselves patriots, a lot of them, but it's waking them up regardless. Now for me, that's the main thing. That is the main important thing. For Jupiter, no, we've got to do Team A, Team B bullshit. We want everyone to air their dirty laundry in public, and then we can all sift through it, and we can pick 2 people off rather than 1. And she'll do it in the name of, oh, I'm defending AY, I'm Team AY. Now, Jupiter will jump about from one thing to another like a flea on a dog's back. She doesn't care. She has got no loyalties. She's not even loyal to her own family. Look how quick she threw Hector under the bus several times this year. Oh, I'd do anything for Hector. Yeah, other than fucking actually defend him and stand on something. Actually stand on your convictions and fucking whatnot. Scumbag, absolute scumbag. Do you know what I mean? Now, this is why I say, do you know what I mean? A lot of the things that have gone on, people are very easy to forget how we arrived at where we are now. And I think the best way to do that is give them a little memory jog or whatever, cherry pick certain things, paint the picture for people to see. And you might see Jupiter in a different light and think, well, actually, you know, you are a bit of a cunt or whatever. You are a bit of a shit cunt at that. And if they don't and they think I'm the shit cunt or whatever, couldn't care less. Just couldn't care less. The people around these situations are so far from unimportant to my situation and surroundings, etc. They bring nothing to me. They help with nothing. They bring nothing. They're realistically, I'd say part of the problem, to be honest, because it's one of them, innit? If you're gonna like do a Babs and just flip flop from this, that, the other, it doesn't help a situation, does it? Do you know what I mean? You need to have like a square and fucking stand on it. Not go, oh, well, you know, I'd rather be on that side of the situation and argue, whatever. Some people just seem to like arguing a point without a point to be fucking had or whatever. Now, Babs, obviously, the flip-flop champion of whatever, PooTube, to the point where Jupiter's called it out many times. Do you know what I mean? Because that's how many times she's done it. She's even called them out for sitting with people like Danny Jones and all them creatures or whatever. But yet she'll have them around her channel. You know what I mean? All the nonsense shit around Danny Jones and whatever, all this fucking hate campaigns which she was apparently against at one point. Oh, well, it might be handy to have Danny around on comments or whatever. None of these cunts would be anywhere near my panel, channel or anything else or whatever. For me, once you've shown me that you are a shit cunt, especially nonsense shit cunts or whatever, yeah, you're going to be nowhere near anything. The only time I'm going to speak to you is to rip you a new arsehole. It is that simple. And it's been that way for the whole time. That any of you people that are listening, whether I'm on this channel, my channel, any other panel, channel, whatever, I've always had the same stance or whatever. And like I say, with Danny Roscoe, it was just literally a thing of, okay, that's what you think. I'll play the game. I'll be nice. I'll fucking, you know, I'll pull punches. I won't, when I could go, oh, well, this and that and whatever, I just won't say that. I'll play the game and whatever, and then we'll see in the long game what she will do with it anyway, and how she will fucking turn on me and attack me and whatever. Anyway, regardless of how nice I am with a person, how decent I am, how I don't bring this, that and the other up when I could do and I should do. Do you know what I mean? It was an experiment just to show whatever. And Danny, when push comes to shove, fucked himself up the arse realistically, because the shit he came out with and whatnot, and yeah, kind of bit him on the arse to the point where I won't speak to Danny again. Do you know what I mean? For me, once a bridge has been burnt, I'm not going to go back and start trying to fix a bridge or whatever. Just seems to be a grifter anyway, and at that point I think there's enough people doing that shit or whatever. Danny is unwilling to look at the lawful solutions, the way around thing, without doing the, oh, everyone vote for me and everyone give me 30 quid. Do you know what I mean? For the pleasure of doing so. We've done it a million times. We can keep voting and voting and voting. It's not going to bring no change. You're not going to do nothing. At that point, you are wasting people's time. And it's not just myself that has like confronted Danny with, not in a bad way, but no, like educational purposes, I guess, or whatever, to say, look, you know, you may believe that this is the cure, but we can show you categorically that it's not. It doesn't work. It's counterproductive, and all you're doing realistically is giving people false hope. And at that point, yeah, you become part of the problem, not part of the solution. Now, there's many channels on YouTube or whatever. Dave, Working Class Patriot, Dave, built himself up from a channel with near no subscribers to, I think he's got over 130,000. It's probably more than that now, to be fair. But Dave's another one that believes that the problem is we've never had the right people in power, this, that and the other. But at least Dave has been willing to go, right, okay, you know, you're saying lawful solutions, blah, blah, blah. Let's explore them somewhat. And Nathan from CMW has been on there several times, and there's like-minded people on Dave's channel and whatever that have like backed everything up that Nathan's saying, confirmed things that Nathan's saying, and agrees with Nathan Fuller that, yeah, you know, if you want a free lawful solution, this is definitely the way forward. Now, I just think there's not enough of that, not enough people open-minded enough to look at the situation and think, well, if the free lawful solution has been presented to the high-profile patriots, why are they not taking it up? Why are they not at least exploring it as options? Now, to me, that stinks. That proper stinks. Now, there's a multitude of reasons why I came away from this movement or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Some of the people that I still speak to now or whatever are aware of why I come away from certain situations, certain fucking, well, the movement as a whole or whatever, realistically. They're aware why I've come away from it. They're aware that Hope Not Hate was wrapped around all fucking certain aspects and whatnot. And those Hope Not Hate scumbags, Doxing Centre for fucking YouTube, which is quite happy to pass the information that they can get on you or your family or whatever to third party trolls. All these things have been spoke about, proven, shown to be the case. But yet then when Wake Up UK comes around or whatever, on comments, people are still like being friendly with the cunt. It's like, I don't think we're learning, are we? I don't think we're moving any more forward, are we? Unless you cut cancer out, the cancer's just going to get worse and worse and worse. You cut the cancer out and you give yourself a fighting chance or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Why people being nice to this scumbag, which has literally done the most fucked up shit to the most amount of people? The same scumbag which is running around fucking platforming the Nazi fucking PA lot, and they have been doing for a fucking long time or whatever. Do you know what I mean? What are you about when you're like okay with that situation? I make it very clear I'm not okay with that. I make it very clear. That's a polar opposite of where I stand or whatever. For me, I don't give a fuck who's being doxed. I don't care if it's my worst enemy. It's fucked up. It shouldn't be going on. It shouldn't be happening. And that's that. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to happen to me personally. For some people, it's like, oh, well, you know, that person's never done out to me. And that sentiment, realistically, tells me all I need to know about them people, realistically. Do you know what I mean? If it's not happening to you, then it doesn't matter. I don't see it that way. I just don't. If it can happen to myself, yourself, it can happen to anybody. It is that simple. It doesn't matter if you're fairly high profile or whatever, or you're just, you know, run of the mill or whatever, random YouTuber. It doesn't make no difference, realistically. If it can happen to one, it can happen to others. And when you've seen it happen to many people coming from the same scumbag, using these fucking dirty, vile, fucking good-for-nothing trolls of the left, and you're still okay with them, it's like, I find it really hard to, like, digest that and not get indigestion from it, to be honest. The annoying thing is, we could, as a whole, be doing much better and moving forward to the relevant positions, which by now we should be in. We should be in. We should have fucking led by example, if you like, or whatever. You know, fuck the left, fuck the right. Let's just, do you know what I mean? Let's look at the, because it's one of them, we can all identify the problems. I spoke to people all over the show and whatever, and we all agree on the same thing. Yeah, there is certain Islamic problems, the terrorism, the rape epidemic, which just seems to be getting worse. The fact that they're getting a foothold in this, that and the other, which they shouldn't be, in my opinion. And the treasonous government, which is facilitating and covering up for all this vile shit going on. So, by now, we should realistically be able to have some sort of a group which agree on all these things and are willing to do the exploring through the fucking lawful solutions and whatnot. And do you know what I mean? Like, put all your bullshit aside that's not important. Obviously, if you've got things that have gone on and there is no turning point to that or whatever, fine, you know, just write them off. Discontinue any further contact with these people or whatever. But do you know what I mean? Until you can cut the shit cunts out of the situation, you're only just literally wasting your time. For every time we build something up and they're literally following us behind, going, right, okay, let's deconstruct this, let's fucking piss all over this, that and the other, just to fucking cause more problems, and then running around passing everyone's details about to shit cunts on the other side and whatever. Do you know what I mean? At what point in that situation, realistically, is anything fruitful going to come from that situation? It's just not. Now, I believe Jupiter, like I've said from day one, is literally in the middle of all this shit, and I don't think it's by accident. I've said from day one, Wake Up UK is 110% her handler. It's a bit mad. Think of all the shit that's come out of Jupiter's mouth, all the vile shit, all the fucked up shit that she's done, running around doxing people, running around doxing people's kids, all these fucked up racism, threats, blah blah blah, turning up at people's houses like Rodney's and all this shit. But yet she's only had one arrest through, is it Isabella or something like that, or whatever, that little spat in Speaker's Corner. That's the only fucking arrest she's ever had or whatever. Now, I threatened to bite one cunt's nose off that was quite happy chucking a postcode around the fucking internet or whatever, knowing full well that was where my family lived or whatever, to the point where I've had to go, right, okay, I've got two decisions I can make, and I can either walk away from the situation and say and do nothing anymore, or I can act now, move my family out of that house just in case anything ever did develop. And you can only do one or the other realistically. So this is why I've said, do you know what I mean? That house, which was doxed, this, that and the other, I don't care. You know what I mean? Nobody seems to be brave enough to come bother that situation or whatever. That's where I still live. Now, my family have been put in a much better situation, a safe situation, and nothing will rock that boat. It is that simple. So when you've got daft cunts running about going, oh, your family's been in danger. No, they haven't. I've put my hand in my pocket to fucking make sure that that's never been a situation. I've had to say certain things. People go, oh, you left your family for the movement. No, I had to say certain things because when these things develop into whatever, it can turn into a social service fucking situation. So I've had to say certain things along the way, and I can always fucking pull it out the bag if anyone ever tries to chat shit, try to bring one situation to another and add 2 and 2 and get 5. I can always go, well, look, here's where I've said this, here's where I've done that, bam bam bam, family's never been in danger or whatever. I've gone out my way to make sure that they are never in danger, and I will always continue to do that. Now that does leave the door open for people to go, oh well, this, that, the other, and you've heard it for a long time, oh, he don't live with his family, they fucked him off, rah rah rah. I don't think so. People will use that because I've had to say certain things and whatever to make sure we don't end up in a situation that we don't want to be in or whatever. Now, like I say, I honestly couldn't give 2 fucks what these fucking bottom feeding trolls have to say about any situation. They can run around saying whatever they want. It will make no difference to me. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to make or break my day, realistically. Now, for people like Jupiter, that has literally gave out her address many times, and then she'll blame James Goddard and say, oh, you did this, you did that, you doxed me. You've already put your address out many times before that. You're just literally chucking that in the situation. Other than that, how did anyone have your address, realistically, if you didn't give it out first, you dumb fat fuck? Do you know what I mean? Now, where I fucked up, and this is where everyone will fuck up because, well, we don't learn off fucking other people's mistakes, do we? It has to happen to you personally. I fucked up by buying some fucking clothing, some free Tommy tops, a couple of them children's size, a couple of them adults hoodies, blah blah blah. As I had done many times, I bought loads of stuff from that particular place or whatever. Now, when Wake Up UK has gone to them lengths and data protection has been broken, it puts people in a predicament, doesn't it? Realistically, legally, lawfully. Now, I can take, if you want to call it revenge. I can take revenge in many different forms or whatever around that situation. The daft cunt that thought he was big and clever to read out the postcode, drunk Dave fucking Russell, being groomed by fucking Jason Tyler, Wake Up UK. Oh, I'll build you a site, Dave. I'll do this, I'll do that. We'll give you all the fucking support that you need and whatever. That didn't last long, did it? That didn't last long at all. But it got him to that position where he's willing to do something stupid and read out my postcode. Now, I guess it's unfortunate that within 10 days of doing that, I think it was a bit less, about a week or whatever, Dave somehow, unfortunately, found himself in a position where, well, he had to move, didn't he? What's good for the goose is definitely good for the gander. And this is why I say, do you know what I mean? The amount of people around this situation that don't know me from shit, haven't got a clue, have not got a fucking clue who I know, who I don't know, who supports me, who doesn't support me, and who will go out on a limb for me. Yeah. Now, I know people up and down the country. I know people all over the UK. I know people all over Ireland. I know people all over Scotland. There's not really anywhere I could go where I'm not in a good situation or whatever. And you don't get respect and people willing to fucking put themselves out on a limb for you without putting the work in. Now, I'm not stupid. I don't just run around going, oh, I've been to loads of rallies. No, you haven't, you fat smelly cunt. You've been to fuck all. You've been to 2 as of recent, and you've been to Speaker's Corner to cause problems and to try and make yourself the fucking victim again or whatever. Oh, this happened. A fucking girl, half my size, fucking slapped me around fucking Speaker's Corner. Do you know what I mean? I've not had to do none of that shit. And I've gone out on a limb for people all around the situations or whatever, all across the board. People know, do you know what I mean? I'm somebody that you can actually fucking rely on or whatever, and if it can help him in one way, shape or form, then I will do. If that involves running certain people out of a situation or whatever, then I will do. That can be reporters that have been and have gone. That could be shit cunts like fucking Danny Jones, his mate, and fucking Wave, his mate, and all these other shit cunts or whatever. That little fucking cretin that was running around doxing pedo hunters, the actual pedo hunters. He thought it was a good idea to go around doxing them and whatever, taking the piss out of cancer patients and all this sort of shit. You know what I mean? For me, running some cunt like that off or whatever, yeah, that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Give a fuck what anyone else thinks, to be honest. Unless you was around the situation at the time, you probably wouldn't understand, to be fair. Now, there is loads of shit. There is loads of shit unfolding, and my time will be better applied to certain situations. Not these dead little corners of YouTube where it's just musical chairs, more bullshit. People fall out, people make up, people fall out, people make up. It's just pointless. Do you know what I mean? Realistically, look at all the people around. Who is actually doing anything? Who's actually out there supporting the relevant things? Anyone can sit online and go, oh yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You're not doing nothing. You're not doing nothing. You're moaning about shit online to other people. That's it. You're not actually achieving anything. You're not making a change to anything. You're not bringing resolve to anything. So at that point, it's like, why would I bother realistically putting my time, effort, whatever, into these fucking dead little communities or whatever? Now, obviously, people can change. People can pull themselves out of a situation and think, right, I'm not getting involved with any of that no more. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to be productive. I'm going to, stick to a fucking set of rules and whatever, and that's all I'm going to do. When people try to lead you away from that and this, that and the other, then I'm just going to fuck them off. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do my own thing, what I've set out to do. Now, people may well do that, do you know what I mean? Dave, Working Class Patriot, is the prime example of that. he was around all these shit cunts. He was being pulled, used, manipulated for certain things, and you know what I mean? Now he's got a thriving channel, and yeah, you know, he's doing what he can or whatever. He's getting the message out there, he's waking people up. Now, I'm personally done with waking people up, so I'm glad somebody like Dave is willing to carry on doing that. It's one of them. People will be waking up this year that was nowhere near awake the year before or whatever, didn't have a clue of the problems that are, you know what I mean, unfolding and whatever. So somebody like Dave is essential, and the fact that he can keep a clean situation and just catapults any trolls that come his way or whatever out the situation, realistically that's your example to follow. That is the person that you want to kind of be emulating, if you like. He's showing you that is the way it works. Keep a clean shop and you will attract many people. You can then get your message out. Do we agree with just putting all your eggs in one basket and hoping we can vote our way out of it? No, but you know, people have got different belief sets or whatever. For me personally, the only effort I'm going to put in is to solutions, resolve to the problems which 90% of the country can see with their own eyes. These are problems that we have seen with our own eyes. These are problems which we have seen our government cover up. Do you know what I mean? These are the problems where when you point things out, oh, you get labelled, you get this, that and the other. So yeah, I think that's about it, to be honest. So yeah, when I get time, possibly tonight, possibly tomorrow, I'm not too sure, I'm going to cherry pick certain lives, certain things and whatever, put a premiere together, put it out there. I couldn't give a fuck. People watch it, they watch it. If people don't watch it, they don't watch it. If people can take anything from that situation and it can put them in a better position, if you like, or whatever, allow people to not fall down the same pit holes that other people have and whatever, then it's one of them, isn't it? It's a public service, if you like. It will be probably the last good gesture from myself to help others around this fucking mad situation, these mad channels, etc. Now, people can take whatever they want from it. They can ignore it and think, I don't give a fuck what you say, I don't give a fuck who's done what, blah blah blah, I'm going to carry on doing what I want when I want. That's fine. Do you know what I mean? Do what you gotta do. Like I say, there's not, out of the small amount of people that are around anyway, there's literally only a few people, probably 5, maybe 10 people max, that you could go, yeah, that person is worthy of whatever, realistically, whether it be help, assistance, support, whatever. There's not a lot, considering there's what, maybe 200-300 people max. Most of them are trolls, most of them are drama cunts or whatever, and most of them couldn't give two fucks about the state of the country. They're just genuinely not arsed. And this is why I've said, I've always tried to point out the infiltrators, the instigators, which are playing one set of people off another set of people. And when they've got fucked up goals which they're trying to achieve, I would advise scratch beneath the surface of that. People like Danny Jones, why are people not asking him the relevant questions? Why did Why did he cover up for certain things? Why have you felt the need to defend rapists of children? Why have you felt the need to tell blatant lies? Why have you felt the need to make out names that they've pulled out of a hat are on sex offenders registers when they're just not? Now, when you figure out that people have actually done this and have actually told ridiculous lies and come up with blatant hate campaigns, makes you ask the question, doesn't it? For the people that are around, which may well be decent people, you've got to look at the situation and think, well, these people have seen these things unfold. Why, much like Wake Up UK, why would you want anything to do with him? Why would you even want to say hi to him in a chat? Never mind anything else. Do you know what I mean? Why have you not fucking fucked these people off out of the channels and communities and whatever? It makes no sense to me. It really doesn't. And it just makes me ask the question, you know what I mean? Are the people that come across decent, are they actually decent? Are they actually decent? Because a decent person won't want won't want these people in the mix. And when they do, and it's acceptable, and they're friendly with them, it's like, I just feel like it makes you reassess the people, doesn't it, realistically? If they didn't know, then they didn't know. But when they do know, it's like, well, how are you still okay with it? I honestly don't get it. And at that point, there's got to be a point in time where you think, well, I've tried, I've shown them, I've exposed them, I've shown them up for the cunts that they are, I've exposed the lies, I've brought out the truth. If people want to carry on with that situation with these shit cunts in it, there's got to be a point where you go, right, well, I've tried, I've shown you, I'm now going to have to wash my hands of it and just leave us all to it. You know what I mean? And I think that's where I'm at now, to be honest. Now, I will always put effort in where it counts or whatever. There's things I do in the background. That's why I laugh when people like Jupiter's going, oh, this, that and the other. People on the right fucking think you're a troll, this, that and the other. Jupiter don't know no cunt. She obviously doesn't know no cunt. She hasn't even got a clue what I've been doing for the last year or so. Do you know what I mean? This on YouTube is neither here nor there. I've been always more of a person where I'd rather be involved on a street level situation, and I'd rather be in the background. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be on the stage. I don't want to put myself forward. I don't want to build myself an ego, but I will put the support in wherever I need be, whether that be on the street support, whether that be simple things like providing security, simple things like printing and putting up posters for people the night before a demo, the week before a demo, etc. Video car, going out and actually fucking waking people up in person, myself, giving out people's leaflets and shit. There is no limits to the things that I have done and will do and will continue to do. You know what I mean? I can't think of any worse than just sat on a fucking couch like Jupiter for 7 years, just chatting shit, milking off people's fucking content and doing fuck all. She's only turned up to them two things because it's become relevant that it might help her in certain situations. Now, I don't think it has, to be honest. I think, well, I know that people have not been happy with certain situations that she's been around and been put around and whatever, infused into it. You're just making other people look shit, and nobody needs that shit stain attaching to themselves or whatever. Decent people do not want that shit. Now, it kind of like shows desperation to involve shit cunts like that around anything. I wouldn't have her guarding the bogs. I wouldn't. I know me and Ghost was having a little joke about that or whatever, but I wouldn't even have a guarding the bogs. I would have her nowhere near that situation. Sorry, but when you're singing dig up your kids to fucking the mothers of murdered children? No, you're coming nowhere near it. When you're sat there mocking the victims of grooming gangs like it's funny, no, you will be nowhere near that situation. Do you know what I mean? And that's without going into the fucking shit which is like happy to abandon her fucking grandchildren and protect a fucking child abuser or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Just the things that she actually says and does online is enough for me to go, yeah, you will be nowhere near anything whatsoever. Now, for those that don't know, when Ginger Tony went and confronted Mandy Mosley at her own pub, Ginger Tony on Wendy's show was asking me on comments, because Wendy's, I think Ginger Tony had said to Wendy, we've confronted Mandy, just so you know, Wendy, blah blah blah, we've got a video, there's a couple of videos to be put out. And Wendy said, well, you can jump on and, you know, we can play them now if you like or whatever. Now Ginger Tony said, I'd rather do it on Dens or whatever because I was on comments. Will you go live? Blah, blah, blah. And I told her straight, you know, all this shit, this bucket analysis of bullshit, which Jupiter's been sifting through for weeks and months, I think it would be much better to go and do it on her channel. I don't even do lives anymore or whatever. I'm certainly not going to spark up a live to just push this out or whatever. Why? Realistically, when Jupiter's been infecting that community, go and play it on that community. You know what I mean? Now Jupiter, I don't know whether she was told that I was actually offered the situation first. Now if I was the egomaniac, fucking hungry for views and give a fuck about my channel that Jupiter makes out that I am or whatever, I'd have said, yeah, Ginger Tony, I'll do a live right now and you can play these videos and you can say whatever you want over it and you can get Kyle, that I know personally anyway, on board and we can all whatever and we can all rip them apart. I didn't do that for a very good reason. Do you know what I mean? It happened in their community, so it should have been shown in their community, and that's what happened. Now Jupiter since then has been like, oh, you know, I'm fucking Billy fucking Big Bollocks or whatever, and trying to chuck her weight around like she's Team Tommy, this, that and the other. She's a fucking laughing stock. She's a laughing stock and a useful idiot. And that is the reason that Ginger Tony will never come forward and say, I'm a troll, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. It won't happen, I'm telling you now, it won't happen. Now, everything that I've pointed out along the way, that fucking Wake Up UK has been attached to that shit and fucking running certain sites and whatnot, is all correct, it's all true. I've not made these things up. The evidence has been put out, people have seen it, people have seen it with their own eyes. It is what it is, isn't it? It fucking is what it is. If I was everything that Jupiter makes out, I'd have ran with that. I'd have ran with that and gone, oh yeah, you know, look, fucking Team Tommy crew, rah rah rah. Nah. After I've walked away for a multitude of reasons and there was all good solid reasons or whatever, why the fuck am I just going to go, yeah, okay, I'll do that. I'll do it. No. Now that doesn't mean that I'm, do you know what I mean, not a supporter of or this, that and the other. Yeah, I do support the message or whatever. I'm just very let down with the situation at hand and the shit cunts around the situation, which will just kind of turn a blind eye to certain things, well, because it suits the needs of today. There's many people that came away from that movement for, same again, a multitude of reasons. Now, when there's more people waking up, I suppose, as the front runners of that or whatever can think, well, you know, some have left, more have joined. You know, is it a big thing or whatever? The people that have been behind that for the amount of years that they have or whatever You can't beg, borrow, or fucking buy that loyalty. Do you know what I mean? I've spoke with many people, and I still speak to many people that come away from all that, and yeah, people are doing what they can in the background. People will not just go, oh, okay, I've come away from that now, so I'm just gonna, do this or do that or whatever. Just turn your back on everything that you've done to get us to where we are now. No. People will do their own thing. People will formulate certain things themselves, and there's loads of little groups that have been formulating in the background and whatever. And yeah, it is what it is. It's part of the course, I guess. Now, anything that is built here on or whatever, here forward, will have a filter in place, if you like, and the shit cunts which have proven themselves to be shit cunts or whatever will get near nothing, will be allowed near nothing, will be involved in nothing, and if they come anywhere near it, they'll have the fucking arse handed to them. It is that simple. There's many people awake to many different things. The situation is much bigger than you can possibly anticipate. That's why I keep saying, do you know what I mean? Fuck these cunts, neither here nor there. Do you know what I mean? The real people, do you know what I mean? They're the backbone of anything or whatever. Shit cunts can come and go. Babs has been around this whole movement for about 4 years or something. Look at all the shit that she's done. Look at all the shit cunts, proven shit cunts, which she's okay with. But according to Babs, I'm Tommy's #1 patriot. No, you're not. You're a fucking fat, toothless fucking scumbag that is okay with the most vile shit going on. And you will sit with these shit cunts long after they've been shown to be shit cunts. And at that point, you're not a patriot at all. In your head, in your fucking half a brain fucking rattling round your head situation, yeah, you probably think you are or whatever. What, because you donate money to Tommy and you turn up at demonstrations? That don't mean shit on the bigger scale of things. You're okay with all these wonky cunts, these absolute wrong-uns, which have done nothing but try to character assassinate, whether it be Tommy, Danny Tomo, and so on and so on and so on, to the point where it's people like myself, which have been avid supporters of multiple things, not just Tommy, do you know what I mean? Whether that be fucking Team fucking Tommy, Britain First, Seats Awareness, Marius, Mate, the ex-Muslim community, PAG UK, you name it, DFLA, fucking Football Lads Alliance, you name it, I've supported it, and I've done so for a long time now. Some Johnny come lately like Babs, which is still okay and whatever, with people like Danny Jones and Wake Up UK and Jupiter and all this shit. You're just showing everyone that you're actually a shit cunt, which is just like part of the problem. You're not part of the solution, definitely not. Not in a million years. Now, I could spend another year around these situations and keep pointing out the obvious and whatever. Realistically, what's it going to change? When you've got 90% of people around it that just do not give a fuck, they're just happy to do the Team A, Team B, trolling bullshit, going at each other's families, this, that and the other, doxings, daily doxings, fucking weekly shit campaigns. What's the point, realistically? I'm going to point out to the 10% of people which are decent, oh, this is a shit cunt, this one's done that, this one's done that. They already know. If they've still got these people around the situation, then you have to draw your own conclusions and think, well, they just don't care. They just actually don't care. They're happy to have these wonky cunts around the situation, and at that point, what do you do? Realistically, all you can do is come away from it yourself and think, well, this is pointless. It's just a merry-go-round of shit, and they're just going to keep swapping seats, having a go at one person, then they'll be friends with them again the next week, and it's just the same shit, isn't it? Day in, day out, week in, week out, month on, month off. What's the point? Burn another year doing the same shit? It would seem very unlikely from my point of view. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I will put a premiere together. I may well fire some premieres out, or I may just make them public, because to be honest, I can't even be asked to sit around on comments addressing things that have been gone over, hashed over, fucking fuck knows how many times. What's the point? You know what I mean? What is the actual point? People can draw their own conclusions, and I couldn't give two fucks either way, whichever way it goes. If there's any worthwhile discussions to be had in the near future, I know he's on about remodelling his channel somewhat or whatever. We'll see what comes of it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna have in my head, oh, you know, things are gonna change, blah blah blah, when I'm not sure that they will. All you can do is hope that people have learnt enough lessons to think, right, okay, you know, we haven't got enough time to carry on with this bullshit, back and forth bullshit. We're just going to do our own thing, and anyone that likes it will like it, and anyone that don't, well, they don't, do they? Now, like I say, I will apply myself to a situation if it seems relevant and of worth. But other than that, no, you won't see me around these situations and whatever. I think there's more fruitful things to put your time into, and that's what I'll continue to do, regardless. There's more things going on in the background than people have got any idea. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, we'll see what comes in the near future, into the new year. Hopefully the radio will do what it needed to, like it did years ago and whatever. You know what I mean? It definitely brought people to the table. It definitely brought people together and built unity around certain things and whatever. Now, if we can take that to the next level, bear in mind it's worldwide and whatever, to get people from different races, cultures,